might be?
It's perhaps a Chinese...
How could you let Chief Dupont do that? I'm not talking to you until you get this fixed. Bronwyn was on Tarotasm, Sam. Just like she was an hour ago. And they record everything, so her alibi should be without question. She was just lying to protect Lexi. She's maternal like that.
A Chinese bronze lion dog statue.
Oh my god, Sam, what are we going to do? The chief can't just lock Bron out like that, can he? You know she's innocent.
Worthing, but later sold to raise funds. The library burned down 3 weeks after their sale. Would you believe it?
Wow.
They normally come in pairs and have many uses.
You're only alive because we want you to be.
Hi, Hi, I'm Chief Dupont.
Poe's Curiosity Shop is now renowned.
Claude.
To Poe's Curiosity Shop. What could the object I've just handed to you be?
Seen anything like this. So, it feels heavy again.
Chief, I wanted to ask you something.
Is it about the boudoir photos?
Am I still a suspect?
No.
Okay. Good. Listen, I think I might get out of this place soon. I need some space.
Is it about the boudoir?
Yeah. So it's true then?
I haven't seen them. I'm sorry. It's all tasteful stuff. I haven't seen them.
I'm just in shock. All the time. How could she be so different? I just can't process it all.
Well, that's what Poe's Curiosity Shop.
Chief Dupont, thanks for calling in.
I'm just checking you're safe.
At the moment, my heart's beating 1,000 times a minute and I can't sit still. Every noise or knock on the door makes me jump out of my skin, and I keep looking behind me. Is that safe?
Have I ever let you down? What's really? Have I ever let you down?
Yes, actually. Last year? With Dennis, remember?
Dennis? But you're still here.
No thanks to you. If Poe hadn't come back, then I'd still be tied up. God knows what he'd have done to me.
Her still smiling mouth, as part of her head tipped forward and free. I expected to see a dripping cross-section of frontal lobe, nasal cavities, and sinus. It was completely empty.
Hello, I'm Violet. I'm Violet.
Since forgotten you, free yourself. When I used the knife, it hurt. Perhaps I was the messenger. Yes, I understand now. I'm the messenger.
Violet, if this is about releasing people from prison, the answer is no. I'm going to need hard evidence for that to happen. Now, go! Back to the guest house?
This is what I brought into.
Wow.
Hello, lovely. Take a look at this. It's a picture of the rotor.
I don't want to see pictures of...
It's not like that. It's just a press photo. Do you see anything in it?
a girl holding a cello.
Just my mind playing tricks, I guess. Sometimes when I drink enough and I'm alone enough, I can step into them. It's like a hologram. The pictures become three-dimensional and I can move around inside them, like virtual reality, but real. The picture comes alive when I'm inside it. Things move around. They talk.
They talk.
And this one is just a rotor. So I'm in her living room. She says that she should have been nicer to me, and I should make her be nice.
You're insane.
That's why I want a picture of you, so I can get inside it.
What do you think?
Well, it's quite heavy, and it feels maybe, I think perhaps it's metal of some sort. It's like an Asian animal, but I'm not sure.
Hello, I'm Rain. I'm Rain.
Lion with
Yes.
wings?
You're
A
right.
winged.
Who is Sophia?
You saw her, did you? She's my goddaughter, at that age where she overshares.
Is she a ghost?
Worthing, but later sold to raise funds. The library.
Hi, Rain. Did you miss me while I was gone?
So,
I'm honestly not going to try and worry about this one. We've told Sam, and I think that's all we can do.
really? Well, what's Sam going to do?
I believe Sam is going to save Ellis. According to the Ouija, this could play out in a lot of different ways, but mostly saving Ellis.
What other ways?
Ellis could run, Ellis could die, Ellis could be saved, mistaken identity, someone else dies. There's a lot of noise coming from the beyond, but it's not just a load of voices saying Ellis will die. Sam's got this.
From Lena. Well, if I'm honest, Lena, it sounds a bit of a nightmare.
Nightmares.
Firstly, thank you for writing this one in. She says, I dream that I'm in a and I'm discovering every time I find a new but then I start noticing.
Haven't you done enough predicting my death?
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm just kidding. I know it's not your fault. Well, unless you're the killer.
Have you made a decision about the show?
I think it's a no. Sorry. It's just the reading that you gave me the other day. I don't want to scare off the audience.
Why would I scare off your listeners? What reading?
They don't want to hear talk of death and darkness. Well, they do, if it's in a story. But you can't tell them they're going to die.
I said you were going to die?
You didn't say you're going to die, just like that, but I remember the death card. And the devil. And you said it was... What was the word you used? My challenge. That I needed to die so I could be free from my chains. I know you said it doesn't mean literal death, but maybe it does.
Well, what I can tell you is that houses represent your soul and sense of self. So then the rooms, they represent potential.
Potential.
So you're quite correct in what you're saying about filling up different...
Welcome to Poe's Curiosity Shop. Do you have an ink?
What I can see here are 3 small methods to what looks like a square, metal square, and then it kind of looks like the tag you get in the zipper.
Oh, you were right about the metal. It's bronze again.
Bronze again. Okay.
Hi, I'm Lexi. I'm Lexi.
I want to say a Christmas tree, but I feel like...
These ones have an inverted full crown, which...
Is Bronwyn out yet?
Sam's working on it.
Don't worry, Lexi. She'll be fine.
Oh,
Tell me about it. Chasing around the unknown, trying to triumph good over evil, generally standing around helpless watching people die.
Why do we do it?
For me, it's a common decency thing. Hi, I'm Bronwyn. Did you know the Earth was overrun by trans-dimensional evil? Want to help fix it? Sure.
Trans-dimensional evil?
I'll read the manual, Lex. People are afraid of ghosts, zombies, and aliens. They never even think to consider the possibility that there are millions of universes, potentially with millions of predators, all far more evolved than we are. What are our chances of victory? Minuscule. But if we don't fight at all, 0.
The Calling. Read by Jessa. From the Jessa channel. I love you. Then...
Sorry, we're closed. Unless you're here for something else.
I'm a friend of Dorota's.
Dorota, I'm sorry about what happened.
Dorota told me things about you.
Things? That's ominously vague. I'm not sure what you mean. Sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Lexi.
Lexi? I like it. It's got an edge.
Dorota says she knew you.
Yeah, she had a portrait session with me. Can I get you a drink?
No thanks.
A little bit won't hurt.
You're dating Violet, aren't you?
No, we're just friends.
That's not what you told Sam. That's not what Violet thinks.
Violet doesn't always see things clearly. It's fine. I know how to handle her.
Doesn't see what clearly? What do you mean? Doesn't...
You know, some women, they think a bunch of flowers means a relationship. Anyway, why are we talking about Violet? Let's talk about you.
I know what you did to Dorota.
I didn't do anything to Dorota.
You killed her. You seduced her.
You make it sound so sordid. Dorota didn't do anything she didn't want to.
People in combat?
Could be combat.
Maybe they're hugging?
Because most people actually think this is an erotic scene. And then the second point you made was that it might be people hugging, but most people, apparently most people, think it shows an erotic scene. This is one of many painted leaden plates.
Hi, I'm Ellis. I'm Ellis.
Her chest.
He sounds great.
practice that was thought of as surgery at the time. I mean, that's kind of quite a literal rope.
I can imagine.
Suppose curiosity shop. Closed.
Dreams.
And nightmares.
So, we have Gabby said that gets to the checkout, there's a huge queue. Now, when she gets to the cashier, she realizes she's left her money at home. And then the cashier makes her put everything back on the shelves, but it never ends. And every time she comes back to the cart, it seems
I'm Zach Weston, just sharpening my powers of persuasion.
Something you could say about most dreams that are recurring dreams.
I think we should break up. I need to talk about Ellis Monroe.
What have you been doing with Ellis Monroe?
What haven't I been doing? What have you heard?
The tarot readers have predicted that she is the next victim. Do you think we should do something?
Want to...
Is that really all you think about? Starting to look like August has a serial killer targeting redheads. Look at my hair, Zach. Does this look red to you?
I think we should break up.
Why do you want to break up?
I don't love you. I'm cheating on you.
With who?
Dorota. Lexi. Dorota.
I thought so. Well, Dorota isn't here anymore. That's the curse of sleeping with you, obviously. How dare you break up with me? It's my decision. And I haven't made my mind up yet.
for who you are. And maybe that is something that you have to challenge in your life. What do you think?
Listen, I think it's a lot of food for thought for this, some...
Thank you for your dreams.
Zach, what are you doing here?
I've been a naughty boy. I need to tell my previous partners.
Good to know. I'm not one of them though, so unless there's anything else?
Pose for me.
Like I said when you asked me the first time, I have higher standards. You can go now.
Surrounding this demon, this ghost of a phenomenon, so much ritual, so much awful curiosity. It made infecting one after another as easy as walking down the street past the tree, past the bridge, past the nearly empty house, the field of stones. It started with one, the first domino to be pushed down. She was young. They usually are. They're easy.
I'm Oscar. Is there anything else I can do?
And then I realized that my family are all standing around me and they're all Oh, Robin, that sounds like quite a horrible... What do you think, Poe? What do you think this perhaps could represent?
Those, and the family. So I think there is perhaps Robin has a willingness or wish to reconnect with her family, but it's just not...
Oscar, good. You got my message. Got some things to show you.
What have you got?
Does, this mean anything to you?
That's Dorota.
And what if I showed you this?
Alice Munro.
Do you know her?
She's from the radio.
And if I do this? No? Anything?
What are you doing?
That'll be all. You can go now.
In this case, family represents feeling... Can signify, once again, those...
Oscar, I'm so sorry. What can I do?
Were you seeing Dorota?
Oscar, it's so much more complicated than that.
Why didn't you save her?
I couldn't. I was live on air. I didn't know what was happening. Well, nobody knew what was happening. Don't make this my fault, Oscar. Please.
But please don't hesitate to reach out to those that you love.
You're so right, Monroe, and I think just by hearing your words, I think Rob understand what's going on. I think that all of finding answers to that.
Well, I hope so, Robin, and thank you for your dreams. Dreams? And it just keeps going up and up and up. And I always wake up before I reach the top. What do you think, Poe?
Oh, that is...
What do you know about it? She thinks she was abducted. Obviously, it's all fiction. Huh. Never heard them together before. Rhymes, doesn't it? That's right, Sam, we don't. And Dennis isn't important because he's now Victor and works in a call centre in Sweden. So let's just keep our minds on the case, shall we? We've got a new target. Alice Munro. Alice said she was in a relationship with Dorota. She kissed a girl and she liked it. She told you where John Pope, or Poe, is going to be next. Rain still says he was praying in his room, alone. Bronwyn was logged into a call centre system called Taratasm. I heard the recordings from last night. It's her voice. So as much as it pains me to say it, Bronwyn isn't a suspect. But Lexi and Rain still are. Violet says she doesn't remember last night, but I've got that in hand. Violet told you about her brush with aliens? You seem far too interested in those kind of things. Zach Weston says he was in his studio last night. No one corroborates. And he keeps asking Ellis to pose nude. Could be motive. Oscar's in the clear. He was playing football last night. He said that Dorota had a wedding dress in her closet. Not many people would know that. That's it.
Shape.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Yeah, it kind of looks like a...
Like really heavy.
In fact, an Egyptian maul, which was used by craftsmen to carve temples. It's approximately 4,500 years old and comes from an ancient burial ground called Saqqara. This particular one has traces of the same limestone as the Great Sphinx of Giza.
Hi, I'm Chief DuPont.
Jessa-chan. I was driving along, playing with the radio and standing in front of my car. Naturally, I wanted to swerve away from her, but I still felt the thump of solid body connecting with my car. There simply was no denying that sickening thump. When my car my heart would burst. And I just sat there. The hum of the engine and a distorted voice from the now crackling speakers were my only company.
Hello, I'm Rain. I'm Rain.
Couldn't do it. I had to know. I had to know. So I took a deep breath and looked in the rear view mirror. The red glow of my brake lights illuminated the lump lying in the road behind me. There was death. Run. At me to flee. The awful is going to happen, and you need to get the fuck out of Dodge before you get caught up in it, was raging in me, but here I was.
Hello, I'm Violet. I'm Violet.
Really twisted atop the pavement. But in all honesty, I think I was of death. I was certain that it was a smell that would never let. My legs for support, the other in front of me, as if ready to catch myself when I inevitably passed out. I took a deep breath and lowered my to retain the masculine depth that was currently hiding behind the remnants of puberty as fear swelled within me. She lay on her back. Her legs was twisted, staring up into the sky. I saw her chest rise and fall.
And you're sure it was her? Then it couldn't be her, could it? You want me to tell Claude, don't you? Sorry, I mean Chief DuPont. Fine, fine, I'll call him.
Call for help. Just please, don't die. I tried to stay calm and dialed. Her hand squeezed mine. Just
What are you doing here? Go rescue Bronwyn!
face. Her breath was becoming much more shallow, and her grip weakened.
Fine. Let me do the paperwork. I'm starting to regret hiring you. Maybe you should concentrate on something else.
Sir, calm down. Where did this happen? I looked down at the girl as her chest stopped rising. Her eyes didn't blink, and she no longer gripped my hand. I was gripping hers. I knew she was dead.
I've heard on the radio, but other than that, I don't know anything about her. I want to help though. That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Although we can be sure of one thing. Not necessarily. If it's a traveler, then they just jump into any vessel, have their fun and go. It just needs to be someone nearby. A little bit. What did you want to know? A rite can take many forms, but from what we know about these travelers, it seems to be performing some kind of coming-of-age ceremony. Yes, a rite of passage. Running havoc in our dimension is rewarded in theirs. Not fair, is it? Three attempts? Yes, that's likely, but 3 victims? That's up to you, Sam. No pressure. No. I can do a reading if you want. Nine of Cups. This is a very positive card. Is Zach a suspect? Something feels wrong. He's too smug, too self-congratulating, like he's got away with something. I don't like this, Sam. I don't like this one bit at all. Yes, of course. Anything. Why Violet? Do you think she's in danger? You don't think she's involved, do you? Leave it with me. I'll see what I can find out. And don't worry, I'll be super discreet.
Down Toyota, clutching his spare magazine. Need to count the bullets.
Yes, I met her at the radio station. I was offering my services. Earning a living's tricky when you travel around as much as we do. And last time I checked, Violet wasn't offering us room and board for free. Yeah, she asked for a sample reading to show what I could do. No, he didn't seem all that interested. It's a shame. He seems like a man with lots of interesting demons. In Birmingham, it was a man called Yuri Harris. He worked as a butcher. He beheaded all 3 girls within hours of each other. And we couldn't stop it. He pleaded not guilty for reason of temporary insanity. The Butcher of Birmingham received 3 life sentences and won't be seeing the light of day anytime soon. We know it wasn't him, though. We know it was a traveler.
Gene pattern was unstable or some such bullshit. Sent down to the vault for of Thacker's creations. She had already been here once. It was.
So what's the news about Ellis? I feel so useless sitting here. I want to help. Yes, please use me. Tell me what to do. Who's that? Is he a suspect? I guess he must be. Okay, I'm on the case. Just give me a minute to get ready and I'll be off.
My first shot goes wide, but it's enough to send her sprinting directly for me. The second shot clips her side. It's 9 o'clock and you're listening to Radio August. Investigations into the murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw are continuing this evening. Miss Shaw was found dead in her home at approximately 10 p.m. last night in what police are describing as a puzzling case. Residents are urged to be cautious until the perpetrator is caught. I cannot stress this enough, August. Stay safe out there. You mean the world to me. In other news, Monroe has been detained on urgent business, so you're stuck with me until she returns. Never fear, Monroe fans. We still have lots of pre-recordings, so you can relax with her angelic tones. That's 9 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
Nights with Poe and Monroe.
Sam, I've got some heavy rain news. Lawrence Petrovsky, that's his real name, and no, he's not a Russian spy, but he does have a criminal record. He was charged with the murder of a 21-year-old artist. Looks like he got off on a technicality by all accounts. About 3 months ago in Hong Kong. Be careful, Sam. If you're going to ask him about this, it could be a flight risk. And you know, there's a good chance he could be the killer. Door's behind you. Rain's still a suspect. No corroborated alibi. Bronwyn Castle has one, Lexi Taylor doesn't. I got my search back on Rain, or Petrovsky, as we should call him. He's got priors that you're looking into. Violet says she doesn't remember last night, but I've got that in hand. Zach Weston says he was in his studio last night. No one corroborates. Oscar's in the clear. He was playing football last night. He said that Dorota had a wedding dress in her closet. Not many people would know that. That's it.
Feast upon, and this demon was nothing if not patient.
Hey, I'm going. There's too many people asking questions. It's exhausting. I'm off to stay at my aunt's. I'll come back tomorrow, but I've said everything I can say.
Point when she would finally cut her strings and fly. There was a process to this. You have a home for the demon.
You're the detective. Monroe just called. This is madness. Who would want to hurt her? We've worked together for years. She's the light to my shade, the angel to my demon, the diamond to my lump of coal. She told me to say all those things. I believe not. She has a big heart, and in my opinion, opens it too easily. Only a madman, or woman. Monroe is August's sweetheart. Poe and Monroe, that was her idea. Our show. We were just another local radio station before that. It was Monroe who decided we should have a theme. Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe. Don't tell me you haven't heard it, detective. That's what the Free Radio Project is all about. Uniting August via the airwaves. Monroe's been delivering free radios anywhere people might want to listen. Doctors' surgeries, hairdressers, the guest house. I believe she charmed the local electrical store into donating them, in exchange for free advertising, of course. We interviewed her about her scholarship not too long ago. Do you think whoever killed Dorota plans to kill Monroe? What makes you think she's in danger? Arrow. Does this have anything to do with the gentleman who stopped by? I didn't get his name, I'm afraid. He offered to do a spot on our show, doing tarot readings to answer listener questions. We said we'd think about it. You know, this town is fascinating. There's a lot more to it than meets the eye. Have you ever read up on the real history of August? The official story is that Mary August retired from a life on the high seas, found a nice spot here, and used her ill-gotten gains to establish a town. But that's not what really happened. It's true that Mary August was a pirate, but she didn't retire. Her ship was sunk on the rocks just off the coast. Mary and all of her crew sought refuge in a small fishing town, this one. They slaughtered everyone, men, women, and children, all dead and dismembered in their own homes. The bodies were dumped in a mass grave. Well, the body parts. And the pirates moved in. Yes, August was built on the blood of innocents. Kind of puts Dorota's murder into perspective, doesn't it? Dennis Piper, or Victor, as he's now known, an over-affectionate fan that read one too many Lovecraft novels, tried to sacrifice Alice, would you believe? Lucky I was here to save her. Yes, Dennis became Victor and moved to Sweden under the witness protection scheme. That's a whole other story I don't know about. On that note, I should probably get back to the booth. The show must go on. Death threats be damned. Look after Monroe, detective. She's the only Monroe I've got.
It's now 10 o'clock. Here's your August update. Investigations deepen into last night's murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Miss Shaw, a talented cellist who had recently been granted a place at Juilliard, was found strangled at her home last night. With the murderer still at large, Chief DuPont has urged residents to remain calm and stresses there is almost no chance of anyone else being harmed. Alice, if you're listening, let me know you're okay. In other news, a handful of August residents have reported seeing strange lights in the sky earlier this evening. The lights, which witnesses describe as searingly bright, were spotted over the east edge of town, past the fire station. Have you seen any strange lights? Or for that matter, little green men? Let me know. That's 10 o'clock with Poe.
The virus starts to spread. He only needed to write one letter, only needed to walk the kind of longing one.
Probably right here. Why? I didn't realize I was under house arrest. Thanks for the advice. I hope I'm not the only suspect.
Another boy, slight for his Kea, the note they found in the bridge.
I delivered radios all over town. I don't think I should have bothered with some of them, though. I don't think... Violet, is it? I don't think Violet liked me very much. I delivered radios all over town. I don't think I should have bothered with some of them, though. I don't think... Violet, is it? I don't think Violet liked me very much. Maybe. I don't know why anyone would be threatened by me, though. I'm not interested in stealing anyone's man.
All of a sudden, there's this woman standing in front of my car. Naturally, I slammed on the brakes and attempted. There was no denying that sickening thump. When my car finally skidded to a full stop, I thought my heart...
Oh, it's you. I was hoping it might be Zach. No? Oh, him, yes. I've heard him on the radio. Never met in real life, though. Are you mocking me, Sam? No, I have never met the man. No. And I've got some very important news for him if he ever shows up. Yes. If he ever shows up. Yes, now I remember. It's the one in the hall. Sometimes cuts through the unbearable silence in this place. Not really. I expected her to be blonde for some reason.
The interior light